Hello everyone. We are going to start with another lecture of performance management. And in this lecture, we are going to deal with the concept of relevant costing in F5 paper, right? So let's see what we can do. Bits and pieces. What is the requirement? Requirement is to calculate whether the Sunday opening incremental revenues exceed the incremental cost over a year, ignore inventory movements, and on the basis reach conclusion whether Sunday opening is financially justifiable or not. Financially justifiable means what? See, there are chances that financially it's beneficial, but non-financially it's not, right? So you just have to identify whether it's financially beneficial or not. If revenues are more than the cost, then it's beneficial. If revenues are less than the cost, it's not beneficial. So the concept is simple, right? So let's start with this question. Bits, sorry, uh, yeah, this one. Bits and Pieces operates a retail store selling spares and accessories for the car market, right? So what we are selling, we are maintaining a retail store selling spares accessories for car market, right? Now, the store has previously only opened for 6 days per week for 50 working weeks in a year, but the company is considering now also opening it on Sundays, right? That means right now we are operating 6 days per week, but we are trying to identify we are trying to think if we can operate it on Sundays as well. The sales of the business on Monday through Saturday averages 10,000 per day with average gross profit of 70% earned. Now this means what? If you have a sales revenue of 10,000 per month, right? If you have a sales revenue of 10,000 per day, sorry, and if the gross profit is 70%, then that means cost of goods sold will be around 3,000, which is 30%, right? So the concept is simple. Our profit is 7,000, cost is 3,000, so that's why we are selling it at 10,000. The company expects that the gross profit percentage earned on Sunday will be 20 percentage point lower than the average earned on the other days in the week. So that means on Sunday situation will be a little bit different. On Sunday, the gross profit will be around 20% lower. That means GP will be 50%. So we can reasonably conclude that cost of goods sold will be 50%, right? What it says, this is because they plan to offer substantial discounts and promotions on Sundays to attempt to attract the customers. Given the price reduction, Sunday sales revenues are expected to be 60% more than average daily sales for those customers that sorry uh, sales revenues for the other days, right? So what we are expecting that Sunday sales will be 60% more than average daily sales revenues for the other days. So this means what? This means that sales revenue of Sunday will be around 60% more. 60% more means on daily basis we have a revenue of 10,000. So if you calculate it's 160%, it's going to be around 16,000. So we can reasonably sell $16,000 or we can generate $16,000 revenue on Sunday project, right? And the cost of goods sold is 50%, so probably we will have a cost of 8,000 and revenue of profit of 8,000, right? The Sunday sales estimates are for new customers only, with no allowance being made for those customers that may transfer from the other day. Why the question is saying this? Because we have a doubt that since we are offering substantial discounts on Sundays, there are chances that the regular customer may get transferred to Sunday. And if our regular customer will transfer to Sunday, then it will be a loss for the company because if company is selling those customer at 100% value, and if Sunday project and if those customers are coming on Sunday, and company is giving them discounts, then that means that company is actually generating losses because company is selling same customers at lower prices, right? So we haven't made any provision, but that is very important thing to be considered. BNP buys all its goods. BNP buy all its goods from one supplier. This supplier gives 5% discount on all purchases if annual spend exceeds 1 million. That means if you buy 1 million goods of more than 1 million, then company can get 5% discount. Not on this, the excessive amount, for the all amount. That means if your purchase cost is 1.5 million, then you will get 5% discount on complete 1.5 million, right? So this is basically the situation. This is basically the point. Now, it has been agreed to pay time and a half. It has been agreed to pay time and a half to sales assistant that work on Sundays, right? The time and a half means they will get normal payment plus 50%. The normal hourly rate is 20 per hour. So if normal hourly rate is 20 per hour, so they will get $30 an hour if they work on Sunday. In total, five sales assistants will be needed for the 6 hours that the store will be open on Sunday. They will also be able to take half day off during the week. The staff will have to be supervised by a manager currently employed by the company and paid on an annual salary of around $80,000, right? So this is the fixed salary probably, and fixed salary is usually irrelevant. If he work on Sunday, he will take the equivalent time off during the week when the assistant manager is available to cover him for no extra cost to BNP. So we are not paying him any extra amount. So that is completely, this is a replacement of labor, but this replacement is not costing anything for the company. He will also be paid a bonus of 1% of the extra sales generated on the Sunday project. So this extra sales, if you are paying him bonuses, then bonus is a relevant cost, right? Because this is not, bonus will not be paid in normal circumstances. The store will have to be lit at a cost of $30 per hour, right? There's a lighting cost of $30 per hour and heating cost at a 45 per hour. The heating will come on 2 hours before the store opens in 25 winter weeks to make sure that it's warm enough for customers when they come at the opening time. The store will not be heated for any other working weeks, right? The rent of the store amounts to 4,20,000 per annum, right? So now we have to identify whether Sunday project would, what are the incremental revenues and what are the incremental costs for this project, right? All right. Now let's see what we can do here. Um, See, let's start with since it is saying that you have to focus on incremental revenues and incremental costs. So let's begin this question with the incremental revenue. That how much additional revenue this this option can generate for the company, right? So the first thing to start from here is let me try to zoom it out a bit. Yeah, I think it's fine. So we will start from the incremental sales revenue, right? We are going to start with the sales revenue, the additional sales revenue which company can generate, right? And for that, we need to identify that what will be the revenue of one particular Sunday. See, it says that 16,000 will be the revenue per Sunday. The additional revenue will be 6,000. I mean 6,000 will be the additional revenue, 60% more this point, 60% more than the average daily sales revenues for the other days. So that means we will generate $16,000 sales in during one Sunday. And we, how many Sundays do we have? We have 50 working weeks during a year, right? So if we have 50 working weeks, that means we have 50 Sundays, right? So multiply by 50, 16,000 into, let me 16,000 into 50 is 800,000. So company can generate a revenue equals to 800,000 from this particular option, right? Now let's move to the cost. See, the first of all, let's start with the cost of goods sold because sales revenue minus cost of goods sold. So the question says that in this point, the question says that there will be a decrease of 20 percentage point in the gross profit, and that we have identified that initially gross profit was 70%, now gross profit is around 50%. Initially cost of goods sold was 30%, but now cost of goods sold is around 50%, right? So what will be the cost of goods sold in this case? It's simply 8,000 times 58 lakh times 50%. That makes around 400,000. So this is incremental cost. Let's put it in a negative figure. Then it says we are done with this one. This one probably yes. Then it says that BNP sell its goods from purchases its goods from one particular supplier, and that supplier is offering 5% discount on all purchases if the annual spend exceeds by 1 million, right? So this point is the only point which I personally believe can create some problem for students. But apart from this point, the whole question is very easy. You may try this question at your own, because once we are done with this part, you may try this remaining question at your own. See, the only thing which we have to check is whether the annual purchases will exceed 1 million or not, right? So let's start with the current situation. See, right now the company is operating for 6 working days and 50 working weeks. That means 6 days per week multiply by 50 weeks. That is equals to 6 times 50 is 300. So that means around 300 days we are operating, right? And for each day we are purchasing goods costing 10,000. No, 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 not 10,000. 10,000 is the revenue. Mm, 10,000 is the revenue, and we are buying goods, and the cost of goods sold is 3,000, right? So each day we are purchasing goods costing 3,000 from the supplier, because we are purchasing 3,000 goods and we are selling it for 10,000. So that means what? I think it's 9 lakh. 300 multiplied by 3,000 is, yes, it's 9 lakh. So right now company is purchasing. This is what? This is current purchasing. Currently, right now company is purchasing $900,000 goods costing from supplier. Uh, and the company is not qualifying for any discount, because discount will be only the supplier will only give discount if the annual spend exceed 1 million. Let's see what Sunday project will bring into the company. Sunday purchasing Sunday purchasing will be what? See, we will sell goods costing 16,000, and the cost of goods sold in this case is 50%. So that means 8,000 is the cost of goods sold multiplied by 50 Sundays. So 8,000 times 50 is 4 lakh. So the overall Sunday cost of goods sold will be 4 lakh. That means the overall buying will be around 1.3 million, right? This is what? This is the annual purchase cost. Now try to think whether company will qualify for any discount or not. Yes, company will qualify for discount, because this 1.3 million is more than 1 million, right? So company is will get 5% discount in this case. So 1.3 million times 1.3 million times 0.05 is 65,000. Company will get discount of $65,000 from the supplier, right? Now the question is, this is basically discount amount, discount received from supplier. Now the question is whether we should write complete 65,000 as a saving here, right? I mean, whether we should write that company will get 60, since company is getting 65% discount. So we shall write 65,000 here, or we should consider 5% of 4 lakh. That's basically the question. So the answer is we will consider this complete 65,000 as a saving in material cost for the Sunday project. Why? Because in the absence of Sunday project, company will not get any discount, and company is getting discount on these 900,000 units only because of the Sunday. So Sunday project is actually creating 60,000, 65,000 benefit to the company. In case of no Sunday project, there will be no discounts available for the company. So there will be no, in that case, this will not be present. So right now what we have to do, we have to consider here saving in from discounts. Saving from discount, right? We are writing this as a positive 65,000 because this is a benefit to the company, right? Now, you may pause this video at this point of time and try to do the remaining question at your own, right? Now, what's next? The next situation is they are saying that the company is, it has been agreed to pay, sorry, it has been agreed to, sorry, it has been agreed to pay, uh, yeah, it has been agreed to pay time and a half to sales assistant that work on Sundays. The normal hourly rate is $20 per hour. In total, 5 sales assistants will be needed for 6 hours that store will be open on Sunday. They will also be able to take half time off during the week. So the extra cost to sales assistant. Is this a relevant cost? Yes, this is a relevant cost, future cost, incremental cost, real cash flows, right? So what will be the cost here? The cost is simple. Mm, the normal rate of pay is 20. But if they are coming on Sunday, we will pay them 50% extra. So that means we will pay them 150%, and 150% is $30. In this $30, 20 is normal and 10 is extra, right? So total in totality, they will get $30 for one extra hour on Sunday. And how many hours they are required? They need 6 hours. Multiply by 6 hours. And how many sales assistant are there? Mm, 5 sales assistant. Multiply by 5. This is for one Sunday, right? 30 into 30 is $900. This is for one Sunday. Multiply by 50 Sundays. Right? This is basically working number 2. This is working number 2, and this is working number 1. Right. So that means what? That means 20 times 1.5 is 30, as I calculated. Multiply by 6, multiply by 5, multiply by 50. That's 45,000. Right. Then it says that. Then it says that. Okay, the staff will have to be supervised by a manager currently employed by the company, paid an annual salary of 80,000, right? So supervisor cost, working number 3. Supervisor cost is 80,000, but will do you think 80,000 is relevant? The company is already paying. This is currently employed by the company and paid annual salary of 80,000. That means if we start with this new project, it doesn't make any difference because we are not paying him any extra amount in that case. So this 80,000 is irrelevant. And why this is irrelevant? Because it's a committed cost. If he work on Sunday, he will be he will take equivalent time off during the week when the assistant manager is available to cover for him at no extra cost to BNP. So the person who is replacing them, company is not paying that person at all. He will also be paid a bonus of 1% extra sales generated from the Sunday project. Now, do you think it is relevant? Yes, bonuses are relevant, right? So we'll write working number 3 here, and we will say that look, salary is irrelevant. Why? Because it's a committed cost, right? There is no replacement cost. And finally, bonus is relevant. Why bonus is relevant? Because it's an incremental cost. So what is the bonus amount? Bonus amount is 1% of the extra sales generated from the Sunday project. So 1% of the sales generated from the project. Now, this term is actually a little bit creating some confusion. The question says that bonus is relevant and bonus will be given as a 1% of extra sales generated from Sunday project, right? This is what the question is saying. Now, there are two interpretations. There are few students who say that look, extra sales are not complete 16,000. They classify extra sales to be 6,000 because efficiency is over and above 10,000. 10,000 even $10,000 say they are dollar sales are they are doing in normal days as well. So there are few students who argue here that we should consider 6,000, which I also think that we should have considered 6,000. But examiner is actually considering, in this case, examiner is considering whole 16,000 as an extra sales because they are saying, because according to examiner, it is saying that look, we are not generating the 16,000 sales before Sunday project. So whenever we will start Sunday project, the whole sales of 16,000 is the extra sales. So right now we are considering 800,000 times 1%. This is the extra sales which we are considering here. And 800,000 times is 8,000, right? So this is the incremental cost and we will keep it in negative. We will keep this also in negative. Now, do we have any other cost? The store will have to be lit. This is a lighting cost at a cost of 30 per hour and heated at a cost of 45 per hour, right? The heating will come 2 hours before the store opens in 25 working winter weeks, and to make sure that it's warm enough for customers to come in when in the opening time. So how many hours the store is actually you are opening store on Sundays? I think it was 6 days somewhere it was written. Yeah, 6 hours. This point, 6 hours that the store will be open, right? So what will be the lighting cost in this case? Lighting cost will be 6 hours per Sunday multiplied by 50 Sundays. So that means around 300 hours, I think. Multiply by, so these are total number of hours and multiply by lighting cost is 30. So 6 multiply by 50 multiply by 30, that makes around 9,000. So this is the lighting cost. Is there any other cost? Yeah, heating cost. This point. Heating cost is come on 2 hours before the store opens on 25 winter weeks, right? So the store is opening 6 hours per Sunday, but we will heat it for 8 hours per Sunday because we want to make sure that whenever customers enter in the shop, he should feel warmth of the heating system. So heating cost will be what? Heating cost will be 8 hours per Sunday multiply by how many Sundays we will operate on it on 25 winter weeks only. So 25 winter weeks multiplied by 45 per hour is the cost. So 8 times 25 times 45 is 9,000, right? And what about the rental cost? Rent cost is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Why? Because it's a committed cost. Do we have to write it? Yes, you have to write it. Why? Because examiner I mean there are two areas. First, you will get marks for in order to identify the relevant cost, and the other part is you will also get marks in order to identify why a cost is irrelevant, so you have to write it. If you skip this rent cost, then examiner will feel that you didn't answer him, right? So this is basically the incremental cost and revenue. So let me check. 800,000 minus 400,000 plus 65,000 minus 45,000 minus 18,000 and minus 9,000. No, 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 8,000. It's 394,000, right? This is the incremental profit, right? So this requirement was for 12 marks. We are done with this requirement. Now, what's the next requirement? Next requirement is uh, discuss whether the manager's pay deal time and bonus is likely to motivate him. Manager pay deal time off and bonus is likely to motivate him. That is for 4 marks, right? Now, what is actually examiner is trying to ask is, see, there was something written here that there's a manager. Let me try to clean it a bit. Yeah, this point. Now, what they are saying, the staff will have to be supervised by a manager currently employed by the company and paid an annual salary of 80,000. If he work on Sunday, he will take the equivalent time off during the week when the assistant manager is available to cover for work which will not create any extra cost for BNP. That means what? That means if I'm the person and someone asks me to work on Sundays, then my company is asking me that, look, you have to come on Sunday and work for us. And just because of the reason that you are working on Sunday, we will give you equivalent time off during the week. We will give you 1 day off. For example, you come on Sunday and you take off, and you take off for Monday, or you come for Sunday and you take one off as Tuesday off for you, right? So this is the first deal. Second deal is that you are also giving him 1% extra sales. Sorry, you are giving him 1% extra sales generated from the Sunday project as a bonus, right? Now the question is asking, what do you think about it? Do you really think that this payment is going to motivate him? Right? It's completely up to you what you think. See, there are two type of people. The first, I mean, there are certain people who want to earn money irrespective of the fact, whatever it takes, whatever company asks from them to do. There are few people who are considered a family man, and they are more concerned about their family. They want to spend time with the family, and they are not willing to work on Sundays, right? So it's completely up to the mindset of the manager. You may write it you own whatever you think can happen. You may write it. Like, for example, what I believe is that, see, the first point is that Sunday is a family day, right? And if you are giving them 1 day off in during the week, then it will initially it will not be a problem. Initially it will be fine. There will not be a problem for them to work on Sundays and take 1 day off on other days. But I actually have a personal experience of this. So I personally believe that by after 1 month or 2 months or 3 months, they will get irritated of it. Why? Because for them, when they are at home, no one is at home, and when everyone is at home, they are not at home. So for them, it starts getting frustrating, right? So I personally think that after some time, they will get irritated, and you have to change the policy in that case. They will get irritated from this policy. Number one. Number two is that you are paying them extra bonuses because they are working on Sunday. So initially, it's a good idea. But you see, the overall is what? Overall bonus is 8,000. So whenever this is again, I'm telling this on my personal experience, that whenever your company give you an increment or give you a bonus, you will get happy. And of course, that is human behavior. But that happiness will continue to a certain time period, and after that time period it will become a norm. That incremental, that price, that salary hike is will become a norm for you, and in after a certain time period, you will not, you will start getting irritated from the extra work you are getting, and somehow there will be a time, there will be a time when you will ask the company, well, you really want your company to not to give you extra amount, just give you the relaxation, the extra off. So probably bonus is a good idea. I mean, there are few people who are more towards earning money. So for them, for those people, it's a good idea. But for them, in that case, it's a good idea. But if you are considering um those people who are like family men, so for them, it's not a good idea in that case. So I personally believe that 2 marks is for this part and 2 marks is for this part, right? So that's the end of this video. I hope you got all these points. In case you have any issue, you may ask me, right? Till then, have a nice day. Allah Hafiz.